Welcome back. So we've got some news of the day kind of stuff, so I'm going to get that out of the way first. Ben Hutton agrees to a 1 year, $1.5 million contract with the LA Kings. Congratulations to Ben Hutton. I genuinely hope that he carves himself out a niche with the LA Kings. He was overplayed in Vancouver last year. He's not an awful defenseman, but you can't overplay him. So as long as they don't expect too much out of him, he'll be all right. Now, getting into tonight's action, there were 10 games tonight. Of course, I reviewed the Ottawa-Toronto game in a video all of its own, so if you're looking for that one, there's a video already on the channel of that. Moving on. Again, for people who made this maybe their first preview of the... Don't worry, I'm not doing all the previews this way. Once we get into the regular season, I've got boards all set up for that. These are just preseason. First preseason result, Columbus beats Buffalo 4-1. So I'm not getting into which team iced which roster because it doesn't matter. These games really don't matter. McCabe gets the goal for Buffalo. Linus Ullmark makes 19 saves on 20 shots for Buffalo. Bemstrom with a goal and an assist for Columbus. And Kivlenix, 17 saves on 18 shots for him for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I was reading an article tonight on how Bobrovsky leaving is good for Columbus because now they've got this great competition for who's going to be their goaltenders. And I thought, I wonder if Yarmo wrote this. Anyways, moving along. Carolina went in and beat Tampa Bay 3-0 tonight. So Tampa's winless in the regular season or in the preseason because it's not regular season yet. Regular season, that's when you turn things around. 3 different goal scorers. Wallmark's notable as a goal scorer for Carolina. Reimer made 8 saves on 8 shots. Not a lot of shots generated by Tampa tonight. I think it was 16 altogether. Jan Ruda with 4 shots on goal led Tampa in terms of shots. And Scott Wedgwood, 33 saves on 36 shots. They got 4 goalies in Tampa. Demang is still there. They've got McElhinney and then you got Vasi. So Wedgwood is there as the number 4. There's a lot of goalies in Tampa. But again, Carolina goes in and gets the win. And a shared shutout for Reimer. Philadelphia, it looked like they were going to win this one. And then back comes the Islanders. And with 66 scoring the overtime winner. Yeah. And it wasn't Josh Hosang either. Big Ross with 2 assists for the Philadelphia Flyers. Carter Hart saved all 14 shots he faced. So yes, the Islanders came back and they won. That was when Carter Hart wasn't in net. Jobst scores the overtime goal. He was wearing the number 66. I thought that was noteworthy because people lose their minds when somebody wears 66. Yes, it's training camp. It doesn't mean anything. It's just preseason. I thought it was kind of funny because it wasn't Josh Hosang who was in the lineup. Thomas Greiss with 14 saves on 15 shots for the New York Islanders. So again, they're going to be looking for Greiss to have a good year. That bodes well that could happen. Chicago, they go into Detroit. They lose 5-3 to the Red Wings tonight. Kubalik with 2 goals for the Chicago Blackhawks. And Lankinen, of the 2 goaltenders, I wanted to cover him. 19 saves on 21 shots. Leonard was in net as well tonight for Chicago, so they shared duties. There were 5 different goal scorers for Detroit. If Detroit's going to make their way in the East and if they're going to surprise some people, they're going to need that. They're going to need scoring by committee. Other than Athanasiou and to some extent Larkin, I don't see a guy who could have 35, 40 goal potential. They would need to have scoring by committee in Detroit to have any chance, especially in that division. Like the Metro's any easier. Anyways, just forget I said that because the Metro and the Atlantic, either way, Detroit's probably going to be a bottom feeder, but if they can get that scoring by committee, they can make some teams nervous. Calvin Pickard, 15 saves on 17 shots in the net for Detroit tonight, so good showing for him overall, kind of, sort of. 15 saves on 17 shots is below 900, but I like Pickard, so what can I say? Dallas, they win it in overtime tonight over Minnesota, and these games don't mean anything, and yet I cheered. I don't get it. Dowling scores on a beautiful breakaway. I blame it on it being a breakaway. I do. That's what it was. I cheered. Point makes 13 saves on 13 shots, which makes me feel a little bit hopeful that the goaltending picture in the future for Dallas is still going to be a bright one. Ottinger is there as well, but you need more than just, overlooking at Ottinger. Hartman with the lone goal for the Minnesota Wild, and Stalock saved 19 out of 21 shots. So, though he wasn't tested often by Dallas, he comes up with decent numbers. Cue the parade in Vegas. The Golden Knights go into Colorado tonight and whooped them. Yeah, it was not the top of the line players for Colorado, but it wasn't for Vegas either. Brandon Peary gets 2 goals, and so he's getting that goal scoring going like he did last year during that hot streak. Sparks, he gets the shutout, saves all 23 shots. I'm telling you, Garrett Sparks, coming off that year in Toronto, has a chip on his shoulder. That's the kind of player that Vegas loves. They're going to have a very difficult decision, I believe, between Sparks or Subban as the backup. Not throwing shade at Subban, it's that I think Sparks can absolutely push for that job. And if one of them goes on waivers, I would not be surprised to see whoever goes on waivers get taken on waivers. Henry, 5 shots on goal, led the shots parade for Colorado, and Miska, 13 saves on 16 shots for him. So again, it was not the top of the line guys for Colorado, but still Vegas goes in and comes out with a 5-0 win. So impressive so far in the preseason for Vegas. Edmonton, Vancouver. And is it too early to start talking about cardiac Canucks? They came back against Calgary and won last night. They almost came back in the other game, the split squad game against Calgary. And tonight they came back and won against Edmonton. So, yeah, we can start talking about how this team fights its way back. And it's preseason. It means absolutely nothing. But still, for a fan base that's waited years for a team that might have a shot, it felt good. And I thought Pettersson between Virtanen and Furland towards the end of the game, I thought that was interesting right there. And I thought Travis Green is really enjoying seeing who he's going to put on the wings. I got the feeling he was really enjoying figuring out what wingers can go where, changing it during the period, between periods. I think there's a lot of wingers there. There's too many wingers for too few jobs. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yurko with a goal and an assist for the Edmonton Oilers. He, of course, is fighting for a job. I honestly, with what Yurko did tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if he at least has Ken Holland thinking about, making him a part of the roster. Starrett, 20 saves on 23 shots. I thought he played okay. Weird mask from a distance. It looks weird up front. Up close, it looks cool though. Sutter with 2 goals, including one on a penalty shot. I was going to say shootout, but I'm like, it wasn't a shootout, penalty shot. And Demko with 35 saves on 37 shots. It is difficult if you're a Canucks fan right now not to get excited about what Demko might be able to do this year. Markstrom played well last year, but if Demko's ready to be the starter right now, I don't know that Travis Green's going to fight it. You put in the goaltender that gives you the best chance to win on any given night. LA played in Arizona. Arizona played in LA tonight, so that's where your split squad is. LA wins in Arizona. Fogamo with 2 goals in that game, and Villalta with 8 saves on 8 shots. Easy for me to say. Stepan with the 1 goal for Arizona, and Antti Ranta, 12 saves on 16 shots for him. So, again, split squad, and if you're an Arizona fan, you can look and go, yeah, we lost that game, but we won the other one big time, whereas LA fans who watched at home will be like, well, we sucked in that game, but we killed them in Arizona, so Anaheim, big comeback win there. San Jose was ahead in that one. I want to say 2-0. I don't know. I was, again, it's preseason, so I don't get as invested as I do during the regular season. Jones ends up having a goal and an assist for Anaheim. Stolarz with 14 saves on 15 shots. You want to talk about another goaltender who's going to end up on waivers, and it's going to be interesting to see if a team says that might be an upgrade over what we've got here already. There's a lot of really good goaltenders in this league, and there's going to be some that end up going down to the American League that could potentially be, that number 3 guy that comes up midway through the season and surprises people by playing well. In the loss for San Jose, Merkley stands out with 2 assists and Arundel with 11 saves on 12 shots. They need a bounce-back season from Arundel. Again, it's preseason. You don't want to make too much of it, but it would be nice to see Dell have a turnaround even just in the preseason so he gets his confidence back for the regular season. And last but not least, as I said earlier, Arizona goes in and they destroy LA 5-0 in LA. Garland with 2 goals and an assist. If Connor Garland can score for Arizona this year, you've got yourself a growing concern in the Coyotes. He showed that at certain points last year. We know they didn't have a 20-goal scorer. If Garland had played all year, he could have been that 20-goal scorer. Darcy Kemper saves all 16 shots he faced. It was a shared shutout between he and I believe Aiden Hill was the other goaltender. Kovalchuk had 4 shots on goal for LA. Of course, they had no goals. And Jonathan Quick saves 7 out of 10 shots. So I'm not concerned. Again, we're just looking at basically patchwork rosters. But Peterson was in net for this one as well. And I do wonder with LA, how's the goaltending going to shake down with them? Does Peterson just go to the AHL? And again, I don't know that he has a whole lot left to prove at the American Hockey League level. So we'll see. And they just re-signed Campbell, so Campbell's not going anywhere. But there you go. The 10 games of the night. As I said, I talked about the Ottawa-Toronto game in a different video earlier. And we will do a quick preview tomorrow for the games that are taking place Wednesday night. Again, I only had access to, I think it was 5 games tonight. I had access to the Philly Islanders game, Chicago and Detroit, Dallas and Minnesota, Vegas and Colorado, and Edmonton and Vancouver. And that's it. Those are the games that I had, and I have center ice package. So if you're not able to watch every game, you're not alone. I did get to watch the Ottawa-Toronto game earlier, though. That's how I was able to do the review for that one that I did. But that's preseason. Preseason's kind of hit and miss in terms of what you can watch. You can watch them on team YouTube channels very often. They stream free on NHL as well. So, yes, there are other ways I could have found to watch. But I'd rather not be watching my TV, watching my phone, watching my computer. No. Because then I'm going to be missing stuff and I'm going to get frustrated. I don't do it during the regular season either. I just try to watch one game at a time. And then I can flip through the channels. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, yeah, we're back into the swing of things. And I apologize to people on the East Coast and in Europe who just woke up to a notification like, oh, crap, again? It's just preseason. Why is he doing this? Because it's fun. I'll talk to you again soon.